Hi guys, so right now I'm in McLaren Kuala Lumpur, just leaving the launch event of the McLaren L1. Now I wasn't initially planning to be here, but I was here to meet Bobby and pick up the car that I am driving now, which is the all-new Peugeot 2008. Now you guys can watch the launch videos of the McLaren L1. You can watch our coverage on Horizon Facebook. You can check out Bobby's channel, Tana's channel, Thomas' channel. The three of them were here, and they were here to video the car. I didn't have time for it, so yeah, go watch their channels and find out more about the car. So today's video, I am featuring instead about this, the all-new Peugeot 2008. Now, as we all know, the Peugeot brand recently underwent a change in distributorship. So previously it was under the NASA group. Now it is under Mazda Distributors Burmas, who has also taken over the Kia franchise in Malaysia, and they have been busy ever since starting business here. They have rolled this out. They have rolled out the 3008, 5008 facelifts, so a very busy period for them. Right now I'm driving this car on the way to Sungai Besi, and I have to say, first look at the interior, it looks impressive. Okay, a bit of information. Now, the pricing of the 2008 here is about 127,000 ringgit, and what you get a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder turbo engine, same engine as the predecessor model, but with improved outputs to about 130 horsepower. Transmission, 6-speed torque converter automatic from Aisin, so not snappy fast like a dual clutch gearbox, but smooth, and of course, being a Japanese gearbox, you can be sure it is reliable. All right. Acceleration is decently peppy, so great for city driving, you know, point and shoot, you know, traffic light to traffic light kind of use. All right, so ergonomics wise, right now my observations are basically right. The design theme that I'm seeing here largely looks this, you know, it seems to follow the same design theme from before, but I can see that the cabin has, you know, the elements, the individual elements have sharper edges to them, so you know, it looks more, in a way, a more modern, a newer age interpretation of what was already a very impressive looking cabin from before. Okay, so what I see here, I see two USB ports here at the side. I have 2 levels of storage here in the center console. This is very, very nice, very practical. This is pretty good, right? This is something that I observed in the 3008 as well. Peugeot's cabin design, all right, even though they prioritize style, but they managed to integrate an impressive level of usability into it. So, you know, even though, yeah, the cabin looks very funky, very chunky and all right, you are not shortchanged in terms of storage spaces available in the cabin. So like you see right now, I'm here. There's plenty of space for me to drop all my various little items in the car. So this is great. Okay. And I just realized I forgot my smart tag, so I have to detour home to pick the car up, and just picked up. So this car, in terms of active safety, this car has forward collision detection. All right. So ride quality wise, actually pretty decent. You know, it soaks the suspension, as you know, in typical French fashion, soaks up the surface undulations very, very skillfully, I would say. All right, and this engine is just so happy to rev. Okay, now in my previous reviews of, say, the 3008 and the 508, I praised Peugeot for them being able to design a cabin, you know, lay out a cabin that, you know, that really looks, you know, more impressive than the underlying architecture. It's basically what happens is, what's going on is this. At the end of the day, right, Peugeot makes mass market cars, and you know, when you look at their pricing, and you look at the costings that they need in order to ensure that, you know, the whole car is a profitable sell, they are you know, the cost of them making the car can't be significantly more than your regular HRV or Proton X50 and all that. But you can see here that they have, and so means that the underlying architecture that they need can't be significantly more sophisticated than other rivals at the same price range. But what you can see here is that they have put in the effort to make the cabin look, you know, 30,000-40,000 ringgit more expensive, despite using what I am pretty sure to be very, very basic elements. Like you see, the instrument cluster here has something of a 2-layered display. So when I look at this cluster, right, it really looks like something that came straight out from a science fiction movie, and it's quite a sight. It's quite a sight. So right now, driving on Federal Highway, it's good. The engine and drivetrain pairing is very, very nicely executed. Very nicely executed. Not snappy fast like the dual clutch, but, you know, responds quickly enough. In terms of the refinement is good. All right, noise levels right now pretty low, pretty decently low. Yeah, overall initial impressions are very likable car. I like how the suspension, you know, beautifully damps out the vertical movements of the body. Okay, sprinting off the traffic light, half throttle. And you know, as you accelerate up the power band, all right, at the higher rev ranges, the engine, you feel a little coarseness in the engine, but then again, overall, the important thing is that the low to mid range acceleration is strong enough, is peppy enough for your day-to-day use. All right, so here's another traffic light. So you see, as I pass 5,000 RPM, or sorry, past 4,500 RPM, the engine sounds, there's that little, you know, hint of roughness, but overall, very, very usable performance. And I just love how well the suspension just damps all the potholes, the patches, and whatnot. So right now, I am going to swing this car hard into a corner. No fuss. Absolutely no fuss. So I'm not suggesting this to be a you know, weekend drive fun car, but the handling, I would say, for your daily use, competent enough. Okay guys, so here is the all-new Peugeot 2008 from the outside in our shop. Okay, and well, Peugeot has, well, the styling of this really looks like nothing else on the road. As usual, they have been very bold, they've been very adventurous with their designs. That's good, all right, because this car, at the end of the day, is also targeted at a younger crowd. So an adventurous design always works well, all right. And you can see the drawing on their, you know, their brand identity, their logo as a lion. So there's a lot of lion-themed design cues here. So you can see this fang here, how the lights illuminate the fang pattern. There's three claws on the headlights. Okay, and down here you can see that there's a lot of hexagonal, trapezoidal shapes here. A lot of polygons interacting with each other, giving this front end a very menacing, a very sophisticated look. Okay, and you can see this grille. Okay, very intricate design with all these little you know, chrome elements here, okay, that progressively shrink towards the middle. And I like how there's an additional 3 sort of like eyelashes here that come out and visually connect the grille with the headlight. Okay, so it's a very intricate design, typical Peugeot, modern Peugeot fashion, very nicely executed. Okay, and you can see look at the shape of this bonnet. Okay, a bit like it's sort of like a clamshell design. Okay, the shut line, okay, comes all the way down here. Okay, now here's where it's interesting. So here's the bonnet shut line. Okay, but this trim piece, what they've done is that with this trim piece, they've actually taken the effort to join the line this way, okay, to create a more how should I put it, a more harmonious looking design. Okay, and here you can see this blade here, this fender blade here. Okay, this is purely decorative, but it visually joins with that of the side mirror, and you can come to the side here, you can see, okay, the design cues here, and there's this additional, see the design line here, goes like this, very sophisticated, very intricate. They put in a lot of effort in spicing up the design of this car. And look at the interplay, the intersection of panels here as well. This is plastic, so it's just stick on. Okay, but then again, I can't imagine accident repair on these two doors, man. Getting them right, I think, may be next to impossible. And look at how these lines intersect. Okay, this one comes up here and goes up, and sort of like merges into the window line here, and there's another line here that goes from here to the tail lights. Okay, now the tail section is where they made also, well, there's a more raked profile to the rear windows, almost like a hatchback proportion. And you can see the tail lights also have this, it's almost like a very sci-fi look to the pattern. There's once again the three claw design. The bumper, very thick black bumper here, together with this satin chrome trim piece, contrast piece here, okay, to add a touch of class. And wow, look at that, double-sided exhaust, nice. So the tail lights here visually, right, it's they put this piece here, this black trim piece here, to give a one, unified visual integration of these rear elements. And you can see the tailgate here as well, also has this additional design line. So overall, from a design standpoint, Peugeot, true to form, they have delivered a product, even though it's priced at 127,000 ringgit. From a visual presentation perspective, this easily looks 160, 170, 180,000 ringgit. All right, so let's look at the boot. And the advantage of having my own car wash now is that I can shine the light inside this. So boot size wise, this is decent, this is big. And we can open this up. Okay, underneath here, a space saver spare tire. Okay, there's a compartment here. Okay, no additional power points here, but that's fine. And well, you can fold the seats down. The release is within easy reach. Okay, so it's not folded. And you can see, well, it's a step, it's not a seamless floor, and that is an opportunity missed, because I think what Peugeot could have done is that they could have made this a split level. They could have, say for example, put another like a notch here or something that would allow a two-level floor storage space. Okay, that would allow the boot floor to have variable boot height. And when you want to load long items, you can raise the boot floor. If you want to load tall items, all right, that does not need to intrude into the cabin space, then you can drop the boot floor. Because you see the level, this is the loading lip, and as you can see, the level, it matches that of the seat back. So by not designing the double layer boot floor, that I think is a bit of a missed opportunity. Maybe in overseas market, this this could maybe included as a cost option because of the additional price of, you know, of adding mold here. But I think this should really be a standard thing lah. Okay, but never mind that, we shall explore other parts of the car. Right, so here you can see, wow, very intricate seat patterns here. Okay, and there are two individually adjustable headrests. The middle passenger belt is built into the rear seat back, so that's nice. So when you fold the seat back down, the belt does not interfere with the folding. That's good. So isofix mounts here, and you see they put a nice touch of putting a zipper there, so that's good. And leg room here. Okay, sit inside. Okay, I'm 170 centimeters tall. All right, I'm 170 centimeters tall. I've got this much of headroom above me. Good lean angle. Okay, good leg room. Thigh support, well, for this segment, not that impressive to be honest. And just show you as well, here's the floor. There's a little pocket there and additional pockets here on the door. So the door card, because of Peugeot's decision to put all black interior, as you can see, there are a few design lines going on here. Okay, but all that is does not come to the fore because of the choice of color. The monotone color really does not allow the design to come up, and that's, to me, is a waste. So let's go and explore the driver's seat. So here we have, all right, once again, this is you can see here ambient lighting, nice touch. Okay, the door pocket here is long, nice depth. So this, in terms of design theme, this is very familiar from before, and you can see, as before, Peugeot has this thing of putting the instrument cluster where you view it over the steering wheel. Okay, but they have added considerably more flair than there was before. So let me just start up the car's electronics. All right, look at this, guys. This, now firstly, check this out. Okay, this is cool. You see, the thing is that there's nothing in a way special about this, nothing you know, sophisticated about it, but the appearance, you know, nobody else does this. Peugeot took the effort to do it, and you know, the way this projects out, okay, it just has that I don't know, that fighter jet kind of appearance. Now look at this instrument cluster. Okay, you have to, this one, you really have to see this in person to admire it. And oh, that's how they display it. Very, very, very impressive. So look at that. Now you can see, as you can see from here, right, the speedometer and the tachometer. Okay, okay, so this is the screen. All right, now here's this. So there's a screen here. Okay, there's a screen here. So inside there's a glass which reflects this to the driver, and there, inside there, there's the fuel gauge, there's the temperature gauge. That is a screen inside. So this cockpit actually has two screens, you know, two screens. And the visual effect, when we view this from this angle, it's as if this speedometer and this tachometer here is floating in front of the what you call it, of the screen at the back. And that's brilliant. And you see the way it's constructed, the reflection is actually off this glass panel, so it looks as if they put two layers of display, but how it's just one screen here, one screen inside, and this panel here. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Okay, so here's the central touch screen. Let's just explore this. I haven't had a chance to see this myself lah. Okay, now in terms from a software perspective, it doesn't look any more sophisticated than what I saw earlier with the in the 3008. But here you can see from this sense, what you call it, from this menus. Okay, it has active safety brake, which is autonomous emergency braking. driver attention alert, blind spot sensors. This to me, good enough, okay? But the software seems like the same one that they used in the 3008. So underneath, the architecture is not really that canggih, that sophisticated, but I appreciate the effort that they put in, all right, in the presentation to make it look really, really special, really, really atas. Okay. Wow, this cluster is something lah. Amazing effort. Reminds me of the Honda CRZ instrument cluster. Okay, so aircon vents. Now once again, the fighter jet theme control continues with these controls. Okay, 2 USB ports here, double layer storage. So you have one here. Okay, 2 layers here. That's the 12-volt socket. All right, and here's the gear lever, 2 cup holders here. You have drive mode selection as well, electronic parking brake. This box here, well, rather, it's quite deep, actually, to be honest. Let me just grab my flashlight. So if you can see, guys, there are 2 layers of storage there. There's my smart tag on top, and there's another one below. Here, look at this. Look at the depth of that. All right. So this is deep, and it will take. You can hide a pretty decent amount of items inside there. Brilliant. All right, and okay. So, all right, the gear, well, typical French glove box, useless one. All right, so one thing about the starter button is that you have to hold it. You have to hold it down before it responds to you. Okay, so let's check something else that I've previously not done in my past videos. All right, so let's go under and explore the undercarriage. So yes, guys, we now have a hoist here in EvoClub Car Wash that allows us to raise your car and do undercarriage cleaning, which in all honesty, this car really needs it. I wonder where my colleagues have been bringing this car to, man. Okay, such is the amount of watermarks down here. So down here you can see, well, this is the oil pan. It's the oil filter here, typical location. That's the exhaust. All right, and here is where the engine meets the transmission. That is the CV joint, or in a layman's term, we call it the drive shaft. So you have this coming out from the transmission here. All right, that one goes to the right side. All right, and I'm surprised they didn't put an undercarriage cover here, to be honest, to protect the transmission as well as the underside of the engine. All right, you can see over here again. Now down here, okay, there's another cover here that I presume protects the steering gear behind there. All right, behind there, down there, that is the whole the whole exhaust setup. Okay, and we'll go over to the other side. You can see the rear suspension. Here's, of course, this is a torsion beam setup. Separate spring shocks. So you see the springs. The spring is mounted, all right, against the chassis here, and that's the absorber over there. So so this is the H-shaped torsion beam. So that's the mounting point of the torsion beam, and well, so the torsion beam halfway through the trailing arm. What this means is that this gives the entire torsion beam a certain degree of flexibility, okay, that sort of brings it closer to the behavior of an independent suspension setup, but of course not entirely. Okay, now over there, that's the fuel tank. Yeah, overall this is the undercarriage of the Peugeot 2008 for you guys to check out. Now, something I've always liked about the way Peugeot does its reverse camera system is, look at this. So the system actually remembers what it sees earlier, okay, and based on also your steering inputs, your reverse angle and all that, right, it calculates and stitches together an image okay, of your 360-degree surroundings. Now, earlier versions before this, right, the image terminates like, you know, somewhere here. But now, what they do is that they actually take the effort to generate an additional like 1 foot of space in front of the car. So it does give you a bit of a 360-degree, you know, what like, you know, like an impression of a 360-degree view around your car. And what I like even more is that as you reverse nearer to the wall and obstacles, okay, it creates this zoom down effect, okay, that gives you sort of like a bird's eye view of what's behind your car. All right, so okay guys, so here you have it, the all new Peugeot 2008. So if you were to compare this with its segment rivals, the Proton X50, the Honda HR-V, well, the 2008 is not bad as a third alternative. It doesn't have the power of the X50, and of course the Honda HR-V, despite it being a relatively aged model, remains largely the safer choice if you are looking for a compact, you know, B segment crossover that is still handsome and easy to drive, nice to go around town with. But the 2008 here does stand out on the count of its, well, outstanding styling. This is definitely the sharpest styling, you know, crossover in its price segment, no doubts about it. Power wise, it's decent. Handling wise, it's competent. So from a driving experience perspective, it does not lose out significantly either to the X50 or the HR-V, maybe except on straight line pace against the X50i. But then aside, very nice car to drive. And of course, this being a French car, the suspension tuning, I would say, is impeccable. Ride is plush, well judged, and definitely I think a car that you can drive around for your daily commutes without much fuss. Okay, so here you have it guys, Peugeot 2008. Go check it out, and until my next video, take care guys, stay safe.